and aging from a most secular standpoint, involving mostly the management of our finances. Our workshop today aims to broaden your perspective on both aging and retirement by offering guidance and tools on both aging and retirement to adapt your lifestyle towards independent joy and aging gracefully. Our next 3 hours will involve sessions by Vijayji and Vivekji. There will be music and chanting. There will be an opportunity for you to engage in meaningful dialogue with your fellow seekers, as well as Q&A towards the end. Throughout the workshop, it is our request that you please have your cameras on and your names typed in full. This is out of respect for our guides and also so that you're able to interact with your community in a meaningful way. And now I am most bhagya to introduce our guides for today's workshop. Vijayji from Chinmaya Mission London was born and raised in Bharat and moved to Canada in 1974. He was an established and successful entrepreneur for several decades in Niagara Falls, with hundreds of employees working for him. Though engrossed in business and family life, Vijayji was always inspired by the teachings of Gurudev and began attending Dharma Seva courses and went on to facilitating study groups and Balvihar from his home. In 2014, Vijayji joined the residential Vedanta course in Siddhabadi for 2.5 years, and since his return, Vijayji has been teaching full-time, inspiring hundreds of seekers, both within his community and beyond. We will find Vijayji's life experiences and teachings to be most inspiring and relatable, with this rare opportunity to learn from both a practical and Vedantic perspective about the journey and transition from Grihastha Ashram to Vanaprastha Ashram. Vivekji from CM Niagara Falls was born and raised in Canada. He's also the son of Vijayji. Vivekji attended an elite business school, traveled to almost 50 countries, and later managed a multi-million-dollar business, yet became tired with the inconsistencies and incompleteness associated with these pursuits. Seeking more from life, Vivekji joined the residential Vedanta course in Sandipani, and for the past 15 years, Vivekji has invited thousands of seekers from all parts of the world and all ages to pursue a life of purpose and be a part of his weekly courses, interactive workshops, and international retreats. Vivekji currently lives in Niagara Falls with his wife Sheila and their 2 children, Vyasa and Shuka. Vijayji and Vivekji, our most heartfelt gratitude for being our guides today. I would now like to pass it on to Vivekji to lead the first session. Hari Om.
Thank you, Sheetal. Oh. Hari Om, and greetings from Niagara Falls. I welcome everyone to our Vanaprastha culture, and particularly our Vanaprastha workshop. 124 seekers have registered for our workshop. Some this morning wrote to me sharing they can't participate. One shared that he's stuck and he can't retire, so he can't make time for this workshop. Another, sadly, is going to a funeral. Our community has the focus of coming to unity. Another word for unity is Advaita. And whenever one is coming towards this unity, towards this Advaita, one feels more courageous. During our lockdowns, work from home, study from home, relate from home, a challenge that we've all experienced is the sense of loneliness. And when we feel lonely, we start to feel weaker. And this is why we have this community, to come to courage, to come to security. For the next 3 hours, for the remainder of the year, for your whole life, feel that you are secure. And this is why we're encouraging everyone actively to have their full names written so that we can feel you, you can feel us, and to have your cameras on so we can feel you, you can feel us. Our rishis, and I'm consciously using the word our rishis were psychologists, were sociologists. I feel they were even urban planners. And their piece helped them to see themselves. The word rishi means seer, one who can see themselves. And because they could see themselves, they can see others. Because they could see themselves and they can see us, they created a system. They created a culture of helping us to see ourselves too, to see that our nature is peace, to see that we can live with a smile through every experience. This system, this culture is presented as Varna Dharma and Ashrama Dharma. Varna Dharma is based on your personality. What should you be living for so that you see yourself, so that you feel peaceful? This is more subjective. Ashrama Dharma is based on your position. Based on your position, what should you be living for so that you see yourself, so that you feel peace? This is more objective. So our rishis have offered subjective guidance, objective guidance for us to see ourselves, to feel peace. All of us are Vanaprasthas. And I want you to break this notion of taking this word literally, because if we take it literally, none of us are Vanaprasthas. Vana means forest. In Bharat, it's known as a jungle. In North America, it is a forest. We don't have jungles in North America. And prastha means to live. So Vanaprastha means to live in the forest. If you take this literally, none of us do. We have to reflect on this more. Vana means simplicity. And prastha means to live. So Vanaprastha is simple living. And Samvada. Vada means to talk. We do a lot of that. To ourselves, to others, through WhatsApp. But Samvada doesn't mean to talk, it means to support. So our culture is a community that will support each other in simple living. We come across this phrase quite often, and many people ask me, what does it mean to live simply? What are expressions of that? Because we all intend to do so, but this is hard. We're not used to this. We're not trained in this. And that's why we have this community and this culture. I express my gratitude, my appreciation to all of you. I want everyone to come closer to the camera, just briefly. Closer. I'm getting old too. It's hard for me to see. Closer. And smile. And now I want you to, if you know how to use Zoom well, scroll to the other screens. Keep smiling and keep scrolling as you come to see everyone who's part of this culture and community. I know many of you. I see seekers joining us from London and Cleveland, both Londons, London, Canada, and London, England. Nairobi and Mumbai, from all over. I'm grateful and appreciative to all of you for investing in yourself. If you think about people who are younger than you, particularly your children, your grandchildren, doesn't it make you happy when they invest in themselves to become healthier, to become more patient? You are doing that for yourself right now. I'm grateful and appreciative to our team who has initiated and is facilitating this culture. You have seen some of them, Ragini, Ricky, Sheetal, Yatin. They're facilitating our Vanaprastha culture. All of them are investing in themselves too, because they want to be ready for simple living. And they've worked hard and smart to create what we're going to experience. And my greatest gratitude and appreciation is to Vijayji. It is hard for me to use that word because it's so formal. My father, for obvious reasons that if he didn't exist, I wouldn't exist. For the direct cause-effect relation. And more so, all that has been meaningful in my life, which has come from Vedanta, this science of oneness, has been initiated and facilitated by him. And I'm a generation younger than him, so he introduced this to me and facilitated it, but I started in a more intense way sooner. I joined the Vedanta course in 2005. He joined in 2014, I believe. I'm grateful and appreciative to Vijayji for being who he is physically and mentally. And he is the right person, the right seeker, the right teacher to facilitate this community, this culture. And for those of you who know him, you know this. Those of you who do not, I assure you, after today's workshop, you will feel the same way. With our introductions complete, we're now going to shift to dynamics. And I've shared with all of you some of the team that has facilitated this workshop, and they're going to continue now. Team?
Gratitude to Vivekji. The next portion of this workshop is dialogue, where each of you will be invited to join a breakout room. During this session, we ask that you share your views on two topics. Firstly, what does aging gracefully mean to you? And secondly, who do you know within your family or community who inspires you and is a role model for aging gracefully? Please click on the invitation to join the breakout room. They will be shared in just a few seconds. And please don't worry about remembering these questions as they will be shared in the breakout room. And there will also be a moderator to help guide the discussion. Please do share openly as this is your community. Hari Om.
Hari Om. Welcome friends and Mahatmas You're all Mahatmas. Why? You're friends because you came by the invitation. You have to register, you have to do all protocol. But know for sure that God or higher power has arranged it. And that is why we are all Mahatmas. Mahan Atma. It just doesn't happen. Whenever these situations comes into our life, it may be 1, 2, 3, 10, 20, 50, 99% your effort. But if there is no will of the higher power, nothing is possible in this life. So welcome all your Mahatmas. Let me start it with our usual prayer, because this workshop is in between our regular class of Ramcharitmanas in Hindi, who has been going for last 3 years. But this is a special session, so I'll explain everything in English. Now, this prayer is the 3 verses of Mangala Charan in the Balkand. Some of you have, because we have some regular attendees, they chant with me. Otherwise, you just listen. Om Varnanam Arth Sanghanam Rasanam Chandasamapi Mangalanam Chakartaro Vande Vani Vinayakau Bhavani Shankaro Vande Shraddha Vishwas Rupino Yabhyam Vinana Pashyanti Siddha Swantastamishwaram Vande Bodhamayam Nityam Gurum Shankar Rupinam Yamashito hi vakropi Chandra Sarvatra Vandate. Vivek ji has already explained, but that was almost 45 minutes ago. We all forgot. Unless we do not have this repetition in the life, we never grow. You tell your child, please, honey, can you do the vacuum? And doesn't listen. Then you say, beta, jara vacuum kar do. Then he opened his eyes, but doesn't do. When you tell him, hurry, vacuum kar, do the vacuum. Why you yelled? Because you didn't hear 2 times. So exactly is this, because when we start thinking repeatedly, even our bhakti, sadhana, all, then those thoughts accumulate and come back. Vanaprastha is the best ashram in our life. Slowly, slowly, as we evolve, we'll see. Let's quickly make a base before we reach to Vanaprastha, maybe in about 15-20 minutes. First, let's look at our life from 2 standpoints. One is our understanding. Our understanding means we get all these knowledge from parents and neighbor, chacha, mama, tau, panditji, all these university, then we have one definition of ourselves for our understanding. Then we'll see the second from our scriptures. So let's study our life. When a child is born, he has only 3 needs. And when a person dies, only 3 needs. Whole life, nothing changes. We can say 4, 5, 6, but nobody has 2, nobody has 1, nobody has 4. I'll prove it. Let's go slowly. So when a child is born, he cries only for 3 reasons. One is when he is hungry, then needs milk. Then second time cries when the diaper is wet. If suppose these 2 are met, he still sometimes cries because he wants to play, jhunjana, toy. These 3. And let's see what happened if a mother gives the milk, change the diaper, and play. Father doesn't exist for that person because father didn't contribute anything. Think it seriously. But what happened if suppose mother gives milk, father cleans the diaper, the baby starts smiling to the father too. And suppose there is 3 people, mother gives milk, father cleans diaper, and sibling plays. So you recognize 3. Let's fast it, make it teenager. So this person, because I said this never changes. So this teenager, what the milk means? Food. Because teenager doesn't listen anything, because if we give the freedom to go to the fridge, then don't. So we should lock our freezer for the teenager, keep the key. Then they know who to go this is. Diaper means shelter, home. What toy means? The friends, entertainment, pleasure. Now same formula, same equation is for the adult too. Me and you and everyone. Let's see how. So baby's milk means food, means money, the job to acquire the food. Then second thing is diaper. What the diaper means? Shelter, home, protection. Then move forward, toy. What the toy means? Friends, relatives, entertainment. Those 3 departments, we all experience this thing, and we have been trained all these things. Now let's see what our scripture says. Scripture says that our nature is Sat, Chit, Anand. Sat means existence. We cannot exist without the food. Chit means this awareness, this knowledge. Who are my friends? What are we doing? How to get the job? And bliss is Anand. Moment to moment, everybody is searching for bliss only. I'll take your attention just for 1 or 2 minutes at this BMI chart, which Gurudev always used. So these inbuilt needs we have. Superconscious means infinite existence. No limit, infinite. Infinite awareness. Infinite bliss. Then what happened the same tattva, the same thing comes into our this subtle body, or we can say thoughts. But this Bhagwan, this thing is blocked by these vasana. So everything we get into limitation. Then when we have a limitation, then we try to become limitless and we search all our life in this world, in objects and emotions and thoughts. Now, in Ramcharitmanas, Bhagwan Ram played 3 roles. One role was Brahman, pure Satchit Anand. Also, Bhagwan played a role of Ishwar, means he is a Brahman, but he has this Maya, Trigun. Also played a role of a human being to teach us the Dharma. He cries, he do a lot of activities just for this. So, who we are? Same as a Lord Rama. But we took ourselves something else by wrong training, not understanding, misunderstanding, all these things. And unless we don't correct somehow, then it will be very difficult to live in any ashram. But whatever has happened, it happened. You can't make a U-turn now. But once we know we are going into the wrong direction, then somehow we can correct ourselves. And there is a process. What is this process? To increase the limit of our happiness. Process is very simple, but it is most difficult because if we don't believe and we don't try. So let's go to our topic. It says, Bhagwan Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Chatur Varnyam Maya Srishtam Gun Karma Vibhag. So in our life, number 1 is Varn. Varn means Gun. Because Gun and Karma. Gun means, if suppose my Gun is a doctor and I go, Karma means action as an engineer, do you think I will be successful? Failure. Same thing, if I'm engineer and I go surgery, no. So Bhagwan Krishna explained that these 4 kinds of people are in this world. Who are they? Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Shudra. In simplicity, if we make a vertical column, so we'll explain the ashram is a horizontal and this is a vertical. So in this thing, we have to make a lot of efforts. But ashram, no effort. Do I make effort to become 25-year-old? Do I make a effort to make a 50 years old? So Purushartha means effort is needed from Shudra to become Vaishya, Vaishya to Kshatriya, Kshatriya to Brahman. Why? Because this classification is not wrong at all. We need these 4 kinds of people, and these, even we have these 4 kinds of things we do. But slowly, slowly we have to understand this thing. So Brahmins They are the lovers of the knowledge. They are the thinkers, rishis, munis. It's not that I am born into a Brahmin family, I become Brahman, but it is natural, because what happened, usually what happened, if I am Brahman, then it means we do all the things in the Brahman, and if my children have those kind of vasana, then the God makes them come into that home. But vice versa, things happen. So Brahmins are those. Then who are the Kshatriyas? These are the leaders, administrators, managers, every field, all over the world. Vaishyas, they are traders, farmers, business people. Shudras, they are workers. Coming to now this, our main topic, which is Vanaprastha. So Vanaprastha, Vivekji gave a meaning, same meaning, but let me explain a little bit more. You know, when you go to forest also mean less amenities. Forest also means where their usual tension of your city living is not there. Forest also means where your obligatory duties are very less. That's all. So Vanaprastha means going towards such a lifestyle. Prastha also could be two meanings. Stha means establish, and stha means going towards. So Vanaprastha means that we are making some adjustment where this householder's lifestyle doesn't suit. We have to understand the 16 sanskara in the Hindu religion. 13th is a vivah. We all got married by the Pandit in a proper way. We understood. But how many we went to Vanaprastha according to the scripture? Hardly one or two. It's a sanskara. When Upanishad Ganga came, when Swami Tejavananda, then there was the whole movie in that thing. Even Vivekji, when he took this 16 sanskara into few years ago, it's a sanskar. It means we have to take an oath and we have to move. It's a journey. Now, let's go this brahmacharya ashram. Because some may have to correct from the beginning, because we didn't live brahmacharya ashram properly. Because it's a relay race, we'll explain. A relay race, what happened? Because in the school we have done, there is an object, one person runs, and then at certain distance, suppose 400 meters, then gives this object to the second person. Then the second person runs. Then it gives to third person, and finally. Now, if first person doesn't run properly, then what happened? The second person cannot, unless second person runs very fast. So Swami Shivananda, Diksha Guru of our Gurudev, he said, जिसका बालपन अच्छा नहीं है, उसका युवापन बहुत मुश्किल से दिखता है. जिसका बाल और युवापन ठीक नहीं है, फिर गृहस्थ की तो क्या बात है, और वानप्रस्थ तो असंभव है. कहने का मतलब है, इंग्लिश, that this system which has been designed by our Rishi Muni, it's a perfect system. And when we follow, there is no stress in life and everything is just a quick movement. But because we don't follow, then the problem comes. And if we don't follow at all, then we smile in the public and cry within ourselves. So in Brahmacharya, a student is initiated, and that is the duty, to learn the material knowledge and spiritual knowledge both. Material knowledge, how to act in the world, how am I going to get the job, where I'm going to get the money, how am I going to, all these things. Suppose a person doesn't, and he is playful, wasted 7, 8, 10 years, and then he is going to college, university in late 40s, then you can see what kind of grahas life will be this. Not criticizing anything. Our main topic is Vanaprastha. We're coming slowly. So Brahmacharya, we have to learn both how to live a worldly life and get all the pointers for the spiritual life. And that is why this Bal Vihar is created. In Bal Vihar, we get these spiritual knowledge. Now we come to the next phase, which is Grahastha. Grahastha means home, house, family, householder. Grahastha. Gra means home. Stha means established. Same thing, Grahastha. Now we have to understand, when I went for the studies, when this topic came, then it is explained like this. Even Swami Tejavananda, who Swamiji asked Vivek to before he came to Niagara Falls. When they teach in this course, 2 years, 2.5, 3 years, used to be 3 years. Then before this Diksha means the final graduation happens, your Acharya, your teacher says, now you understood this knowledge and then you have to become sannyasi. Why? Because sannyasi is the gate for the permanent happiness. But what happens, our vasanas or some arrangement, some commitment is such as this that we can't. So then Guru also allows, okay, go get married, but never lose sight where you have to go. Swami Tejavananda also said, we have to learn from a thief. A thief will never go to any house unless the thief studies where to exit. If there is only one door, and if thief goes to the 3rd floor or somewhere in the apartment building, and somehow if he get caught, do you think he can get out? That is why in apartment building, no thief goes. They can go 1st floor. Who's going to go 26th floor? If something happened, he will be caught. Exit. We had a gift shop here in the Minolta Tower on the 28th floor. We also had a shop in the market. We were insured for the theft and this and that. And in Minolta Tower, the 28th floor, the premium was 75% less. I asked the insurer, he said the robbery cannot happen there. How can it be happen? You need the elevator, you need this, all these things. Exit. One day we're going to close our eyes. We have to study that today, not tomorrow. Then the third comes Vanaprastha. Now this Vanaprastha, we can make 3 divisions. Let's make a 3 division for all, for greater understanding. So if suppose we divide our life in 100 years, we have a seeker here whom I give great respect, Mohini Mehtaji. She's 92-year-old. So she comes to give us blessings. Now you see, very seldom we live 100 years, some of these people, but let's make it. So 25 years is our bachelor life. Brahmacharya. Brahmacharya means knowledge of Brahma. And Brahma is, make it karya karan, 2 kinds. One is pure consciousness and one is relative consciousness. So that is why we said 2 divisions. Study the material science, go to school, go to university, whatever, and then also learn the spiritual science. As I said, friends and Mahatmas. Friends you become by yourself, but Mahatma only by understanding the spiritual knowledge. So let's go make it 25 to 4 years before 4 years, because Deshkal, some adjustment. 21 to 29. Our studies must complete by 28, 29. 29 is a cutout, last 25, 26, 27. But you know, the poor doctors, they cannot become doctor 25 years old engineer. The way the system is designed now, it's a little bit. So let's say if a doctor becomes now at 32 and 33, then that person has less grahastha ashram. And let's go to the grahastha ashram. So what is this grahastha ashram? 50 years, 25 to 50. Let's give some discount. You take it 5 years before and 5 years later. So let's make it 45 years and maximum 55 years. Why I said 45? Because to me, this should start at 40. I started at 40 because Chinmaya Mission came to our life and we understood the whole thing. Very fortunate. So I wanted to invite everybody when they are 40. But some of the sevikas, they say it means I'm already Vanaprastha because they are 47, 48 and all that. Vivek said, no, 50, you're going to scare everybody. I said, I'm going to scare everybody anyway. So 42, 5 to 55. We'll see why Rishi Muni, they have designed this thing. Third stage is hours. Hours means you start from 50 and 75 is a sannyas. We'll come to this point. So let's do some adjustment in here. We take 5 minutes before and maximum 80 years. Now coming back this thing, if suppose a person got married and that person is 34, 35 years old, then naturally that person can enjoy the householder life, nothing wrong in it. Get married, have a husband. But suppose a person creates children when they are 40 or 42, then when they are 65, they're still raising the children. See, nothing wrong. This we have to understand ourselves. It is not for a third person. Where we are in our life. And same thing, Vanaprastha. We have this thing, but you know, situation happened, parents living with you, some other people living with many responsibilities. Physically, you cannot change. Mentally, you can be Vanaprastha, like Vivek ji said, even a 20-year-old. Because I know where is the exit. So let's meditate on the exit and play this game. So in this session today, we will get some ideas and then we'll do correction in our life. Now, coming back to this Vanaprastha. So let's make it 3 divisions. First is 45 to 50. 45 to 50 is a preparation. Then we start preparing ourselves in many directions. Because this session may be repeated later on, a group discussion may come later on in the future, then we'll go nitty-gritty. What are the 5 or 6 arrangements we have to make at that time? Then that's a preparation. You don't have to do anything. You can't do anything. You got 2 teenagers there. You have a job. You have a mortgage to pay. You cannot look after. How can you? So preparation means thinking and minor adjustment. Then 50 to 55, certainly start making adjustments. Preparation we did. Now we have to do the adjustment. And then 55 to 60, you can see I have taken 10 years more. We should have done in 50, but let's go to 60. Moved permanently Vanaprastha life. Let me repeat. Move permanently Vanaprastha life. If we didn't, then it will be very difficult for our goal to achieve. Not impossible. Because if we don't do a lot of correction, if I am going into direction, I do not know, you are from all over the world, but in here, there is a highway called 401. It starts somewhere from Montreal and it goes to up to Detroit. Long highway. So suppose I go from Niagara Falls in this highway and I do not know what this city is, Guelph or this and that, and I started going towards the Detroit. Then after driving, I see it says there 200 miles, now it says 230, I ignore, 260, ignore, 280, enjoying this ride. Then it says 360, oh my goodness, I'm in a wrong direction. Yeah, but the landmark came. Then you just enjoying, you didn't make a U-turn. So now you have to make a U-turn. So exactly we have to know where we are in the stage of life. So we gave these 3 divisions: preparation, adjustment, and then permanently means again, Vivek ji said, don't scare, I'm gonna scare, don't come back. This is point of no return in this life. Then your Vanaprastha is successful. Otherwise, खाओ पियो मौज करो, क्या है हिंदू में जिंदगी दोबारा मिलेगी. In Hindu religion there is no problem, will come again and again, who cares. Now, because this is our Ramcharitmanas, we are the children of Manu Maharaj. The creator Brahmaji divided himself into 2, Manu and Shatrupa, and this has been studied by all of you. Vivek ji have explained in the Bhagavatam. So we are the children, those are our forefathers. In Ramcharitmanas, this episode of the Bhagavatam, Sant Tulsidas ji took it. And it's beautiful explained in there. So why should I explain to you? Let Tulsidas ji or Manu Maharaj, let me explain. So what we are going to do now, this is in Balkand, Doha number 142. Whoever have Ramcharitmanas, it's a Balkand 142. Ragini has posted there, but I give you a little story so you can understand. Parvati ji is asking Lord Shiva, why did Bhagwan Ram came as a Lord Rama, Vishnu Bhagwan, why did he take avatar? So there is a portion where many reasons has given, and Lord Shiva is teaching to Parvati. And then Parvati ji is listening, and then all of a sudden this story is going. Then, Parvati ji, one time Narad Muni gave the shrap, curse, Vishnu Bhagwan. Now Parvati ji got shocked because Narad ji is a guru of Parvati ji. So when Parvati ji heard that my guru gave the shrap to Vishnu Bhagwan, that I can't understand. So when Lord Shiva was telling something else, but she said, no, I want to listen to this, because this is very important. This is called Narad Moh Prasang. For your curiosity, I'm going to take some of these things. You want to make a note for your study? Fine, if not, but our topic is Vanaprastha. So what happened? This Narad ji, I'm going to bring you this story. I'm not going to get into the story. That something happened to Narad ji. He got very upset, very mad. And then when he is cursing Vishnu Bhagwan, then he said lot of things. And this comes into Doha number 136 and after. So this is a very joking, very this thing, but the people who study Ramcharitmanas, it is very deep. So here says, Param swatantra na sir par koi, bhavai man hi karahu tum soi, bhale mand mand hi bhale karahu, dismay haras nahi hai kach dharo. Means, he's telling Vishnu Bhagwan कि तुम्हारा कोई माई बाप नहीं है. That Vishnu Bhagwan, you do whatever you want to do. Nobody can stop you. Sometime you work, sometime you don't work. And sometime you dharma and sometime adharma. Many things. But in deep meaning there is called Bhagavad Dharma. That is true. There is no Mai Bap of Bhagwan. Param Swatantra. Yeah, he is not in the bondage. So it means there, whatever Narad ji is saying, in that episode, the characteristic of the God is defined there. So this Ramcharitmanas consists of 135 books. Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Upanishad, most of the things are there. So this goes little bit further. So usually what happens is 136 to 152. That many is the total story. But coming back to this thing, then this Brahmaji divided himself into two, Manu, Shatrupa. Then in Bhagavatam, you have all learned that Swayambhu, Manu and Shatrupa, they had two sons, Uttanpad, whose son was Dhruji, and Priyavrat. Also they have three daughters, Akuti, Devhuti, Prasuti. Now this is dramatized outside, but also these are nothing, it's our thoughts. When we study, this is the whole world, what is happening outside, happening inside too. Vyashti Samasti. So please chant after me and we'll enjoy this now journey. So this is posted here, Doha number 142. I'm going to chant in 4 quarters. You repeat, please. Hoye na vishay viraga, hoye na vishay viraga, bhavan basat bha chauthapan, bhavan basat bha chauthapan, hriday bahut dukh laga, hriday bahut dukh laga, janam gayo hari bhagat binu, janam gayo hari bhagat binu. We chant together. Hoy na vishay virag, bhavan basat bha chauthapan, hriday bahut dukh lag, janam gayo hari bhagat binu. This is our life. Hoy na vishay virag. Vishay means objects, all these sensual pleasures and all those things. Virag means dispassion. Bhavan vasadva chautpan. Chautpans means I'm entering into the 4th quarter. 4th quarter means leaving even the Vanaprastha, going towards the sannyas. But Vairagya has not come. So what we have to understand, the indicative meaning in here, that I am getting old and still I have the vasana and longing for all the worldly pleasures. So how can I enter into Vanaprastha life? Because Vanaprastha life is for yoga, not a bhog. Bhog means enjoyment. In Grahastha ashram, maximum enjoyment is given. But if we live carelessly, then maximum vasana also created into the Grahastha life. So in here, it is said, Bhavan basat bha chautapa, that I didn't have dispassion, vairagya nahi aaya. And that is why it is very difficult to enter into the Vanaprastha ashram. So that's what we said, we have to do this preparation. Hriday bahut dukh lag. But you know, the people who say we are in the Vanaprastha ashram, but they enjoy all kinds of family life, they won't be dukhi. Here Manu Maharaj is saying, who wrote the Manu Smriti, means all the code of conduct for 4.3 million years of existence. That is, this is the Manu Maharaj. He is saying to himself, Hriday bahut dukh lag, janam gayo hari bhagat bin. Yeah, in the family life, in the grahast life, where is the time? In 5 minutes you do the puja, then you run You drive hour and then you go to your office, and then the traffic jam, you come, all these things happen. It happened with us too, and it happens with everybody else. So that is why Hari Bhagati, that we cannot get the Hari Bhakti. Some of our regular seekers, we have said, there is about 130 books inside this Ramcharitmanas. Some of the people, they have discovered, still discovering, 500 bhajans has been written by Bollywood and all, only from the Ramcharitmanas. And there is one bhajan is written on this thing, which I'm going to sing, and you all participate. I want to tell you a couple of other things. Pandit Jasraj, you all have heard. One time when Vivek ji was studying in Sandipni, Pandit Jasraj came in 1 hour, 1.5 hours. He went to Swami Tejovananda, our Guru. And he sang only for him. Nobody was there. Purushottam Das Jaluta, devotee of our Gurudev. I heard, I never met him, that he used to prostrate to our Gurudev. Anu Jalota, we all know. Purushottam Das Jalota also sang this bhajan, which became very popular by Anu Jalota. And this verse, whatever is there, it's in there. I'm not a singer, but I'll sing a little bit and then we'll see how it connects to Vanaprastha and all that. Janam tera baato hi beet gaya, re tune kabahu na Krishna kaho, 5 बरस का भोला बाला, अब तो 20 भयो, मकर 25 माया कारण, देश विदेश गयो, 30 बरस की अब मति उपजी, लोभ बड़े नित नयो, माया जोड़ी लाख करोड़ी, आजहु न तृप्त भयो, वृद्ध भयो तब आलस उपजो, कफ नित कंठ नयो, साधु संगत कबहु न कीनी, विरथा जन्म गयो. Let's see. Janam tera baato hi beet gaya. See this line, 142, the 4th quarter, it says, Janam gayo Hari Bhagat bin. In here, same thing. Janam tera beet gaya, kabahu na Krishna kaho. Then, 5 बरस को भोलो भालो, अब तो 20 भयो. This is your brahmacharya ashram. मकर 25 माया कारण देश विदेश गयो. हम भी देश विदेश गए. Born in Kanpur, went to Banaras to get a job, didn't get. Then my Nana pushed me Allahabad. Then medical sales representative, nothing happened. Then they kicked me to go to your Mossi. Then I end up in British Columbia in Terrace. In Terrace, there is a small town called Kitamet. Kitamet is the world's biggest aluminum smelting. From there, I came Koila todne ke liye, outside job temporary. Break the coal, but need the money, desh videsh. From there, the ships. Are you not here? Some people left India, they went to England, then they came to London. some people went Dubai, they came here, some went South Africa. देश विदेश भयो, काहे के लिए? माया कारण। 30 वर्ष की मति उपजी, लोभ बढ़े नित। Pay attention to these words. These are not bhajan. When we are 30 or 35, most greedy, because we have expanded too many expenses there. We got 3 chunnu munnu children. We were living nicely in the apartment. We bought the house. We bought the cell phone. Where is the time for the Ram bhajan? Lobh nitya bhale. Ajahu na tript bhayo. And then what happened? Vradh bhayo, like me. Alas upjo. Vivek ji is actually this credit to Yatin, Sheila, Ragini and all these people. But I want to give credit to 3 people. My grandmother. I was born only half a mile from Ganges. And my grandmother told me, Beta, you are 5-year-old. You don't take shower in home anymore. The whole day go to Ganges. So 3-4 years, I don't remember taking the shower ever in the home. Because they say the Ganga ji is there. So dharam from there. Today, I was remembering. Then also, second thing, to Vivek ji's wife Sheila. Because Sheila told me one year, because you talked about your lifestyle, you want to give your duties to us, and you have nothing to do with the business, this and that. You should talk about this thing. Then finally, this group came, and we are very lucky, and we are very happy this has started. We do not know where it will go, but my prostration to each member, because I said this is the most important time in the life. In English, they say life starts 55. Yes, but North American life starts 55 for a wrong direction. But here, it's a different direction. It's a Prabhu Prapti. So, Vrat Bhayo Ala Subjo Sadhu Sangati Kabhau ne kini. Sadhu Sangat is very Birtha Janam Gayo. Now we come back to this thing, and quickly we will see then what adjustment Manu Maharaj has done. Exactly what Manu Maharaj has done, same thing Raja Dashrath has done. Raja Dashrath, one day he saw in a mirror only one hair little bit. And this also comes into Ramcharitmanas. That when he saw, he called his Guru Vashisht Muni. He said, I am getting old. Then I have to give the next of kin this thing. I have to renounce my obligatory duties. And this Chaupai is also very famous. Shavan Sameep Bhay Sit Kesa Manahu Jarat Pan Asu Upadesha Nrap Jabu Raj Ram Kahu Vehu Jivan Janam Lahu Kin Lehu. That Raja Dashrath saw some white hair. Then, as the hair are telling, the mirror is telling, Dashrath ji, don't you study your exit door? He called his guru. That's what it means. So now the next one, these are laws. There is no option, but we have many options. But to live a full life, there is no option. We'll see what is the next thing. Okay, repeat after me. Bar bas raj sutahi tab deena. This is the next chopai after 142. So 142, this thing, again, you can post, otherwise it doesn't matter. We're just going to cover one more. Barbas Raj Sutahi Tab Deena. Barbas Raj Sutahi Tab Deena. Nari Samet Gavan Ban Keena. Nari Samet Gavan Ban Keena. तीरथ बर नैमिष विख्याता तीरथ बर नैमिष विख्याता अति पुनीत साधक सिद्धिदाता अति पुनीत साधक सिद्धिदाता. You know, this Chaupai Hoina Vishay Virag, we can explain even for 1 hour because there's so much in there. But we have to move forward. Barbas Raj Sutahi Davadina means this Manu Maharaj gave this kingdom to his son Uttanpad. Barbas, forcefully. Now you see, we raised in North America, even we are born there. So much freedom. Sometimes freedom is no good. When we educate our children with the bounden dharam duty, then even your son, whether he's 25 years, 30 or 35, you can order. Because the father has the right to order the child lifelong. Manu Smriti. So here he called. He said, Uttanpad ji, I'm going, you take the kingdom. No, no, dad, it's your baby. My baby is somebody else. No, 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 no. That's what the dharma is. Son has to look after this. Barbas. Many points in here. Nari sameta gavan ban kina. Then a man wants to go renounce, then he can do that. But he has to make arrangement for wife. If wife wants to go, that's fine. If wife doesn't want to go, then same thing. If a father tells the older son, it is your duty, you look after your mother till the death. Son cannot say no. These are the laws, and these are governed. More we drift, that is called Bhav Sagar. And it's very difficult to come back in this life and many other lives. Tirath bar Naimish Vikyatha. Where did they go? Naimisharnya. Tirath. So it's very important in the Vanaprastha life. Get away for usual obligatory duties. Make arrangement. It will take 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, whatever. And after that, don't get involved in those things. You keep maximum time for introspection, yoga, jap. What is this life? Study the exit door, because it doesn't matter, it will close. Making the money, looking after the family creates too much time it takes. So there must be some time in the life, whether 50, 55, 60, 65, whatever, do. You know, the children these days, they govern the parents. I see right and left. I'm going India. My daughter says, why you are going? I said, none of your business. No, you're going to die. No, you're going to save me. If I'm not going to, did you think you're going to give me a certificate? You know, because in Vanaprastha life means you do whatever is spiritual. If I can go to India and I do pranam for 2 minutes to Swami Tejomananda and I drop dead there, I couldn't care. He gave me everything. It's very important to understand where we are going this thing. So Tirath bar naimish vikyata ati puneet sadhak siddhidata. So finally, I'm repeating and concluding in here about the Vanaprastha life. That whatever responsibility do we have, if we do not have the money, naturally we have to keep working. But if suppose all the arrangements are proper, then only dependency of ours should be to Bhagwan, no individual, no other people. When study groups comes, then we'll talk about many kind of Vanaprastha, many kinds of sannyasi later on. Then the final note is this Vanaprastha life should go the first stage of sannyasi, which is called Kutichak sannyasi. Kutichak sannyasi means this person lives with the family, but he has nothing to do with the family. This is very personal, but again, if I don't share, then it's not a very good idea. I told my guru, I want to take sannyas after the course. He said, you need the wife's permission. But wife is not ready for whatever reason. Then he gave me, he said, you started living as a sannyasi. Then you treat your wife not as your patni, but dharam patni. That it means whatever the dharma is of Vanaprastha, then you obey, then you are sannyasi. My father also had a friend in Delhi. He came here many years ago to see God. He was devotee of Ramana Maharishi. So he understood. So what he did, he made a room upstairs in the roof in Delhi. He will sleep in the family, but early morning, he will take his breakfast, what is banana, kela, this and that, cup of tea, and he'll go to that room. He will spend all day into the room. Children are going, this is going, but it's not that this. There is emergency, there is some consultation where it is needed, yes. Otherwise, deep study, deep contemplation, thinking about life, introspection, that is called Vanaprastha. Hari Om. I hope I wasn't too strict. I gave, if you like something, you keep it. If you don't like, throw in the garbage. I'll give you two examples. One time a letter came to Gandhiji, very abusive letter. He read, and there was a pin here. He took pin out and he put his in cap. He said, that is good thing I can use. And he threw it.
Om Namah Shivaya. 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 Shivaya. Om Namah 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 Shivaya. बोलो शिव शंकर भगवान की जय.
Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. 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 Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Om 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 Namah Shivaya. 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 Om Namah Shivaya.
I see a couple of questions in the chat. The first one is from Ganapati ji. This is to Vijay. Vijay ji, what steps did Vijay ji take to simplify his life?
Again, if we go to the basic thing, the three needs to exist, we need the minimum thing, minimum income. Then second, minimum knowledge means if I have to reach the exit door, what material do I need? And the third thing is this happiness. So in Vanaprastha life, there is a word, Sarva Arambh Parityagi, that this person doesn't start anything. It means whatever he has, he is satisfied in that. He doesn't start a new business. He doesn't start another vasanas. So very simply, when I look at my life, I want to make my children fully independent. I don't say to my children, no, you should have a job where you make $300,000 or 200, and you should have this kind of house, this kind of name and fame. No. Whatever the children, their vasana, if somebody wants to be accountant, Vivekji wants to be a teacher, the other whatever. So I helped them, and as soon as they were 19, in my mind, I wanted them to be 100% independent, and I am only standby in the emergency. So all of us, your question, wherever you are, once you make other people independent, then they will allow you to make you independent too. If you are dependent on others, then naturally they will be dependent on you. So it's important to look forward in this preparation to be independent, and finally you are dependent on the God, nobody else.
Thank you, Vijay ji. We have a lot of questions coming in through the chat. The next question that we have is from Nagesh ji from Virginia. The question is, while transitioning into Grihasth, what was the toughest thing to detach from, and what technique worked for you?
Okay. It is said that one should get up before the sunrise. What it means, before the world wake up, be ruthless, selfish, do whatever is needed. If suppose you have to listen to a talk, a guru, or read Bhagavad Gita 1 hour, do it before anybody else gets from your home. Also, if you have to plan for something in the future, you take the advice from the proper people. We always take advice from our spouses, our children, and the people who love, but they may not be qualified, because then there is no vairagi in this thing. So it's very important for the spiritual need, you go to the spiritual guide. So correction, like we said, and adjustment, there is no hard and fast rule. Because it's just like when you go to the doctor and if you sneeze, there could be 50 reasons, 50 different medicines. But in a nutshell, please read either Bhagavad Gita or read some kind of smriti, do the yoga, japa, and all those things which has been shared. And most important, sit down half an hour introspection. The day I'm going to close the eyes, what will happen? And in this journey, what are the minimum things we need? Keep it. And never forget sarva aram parityagi. Don't go to any side street where you may end up and you may not return. Thank you.
Thank you, Vijayji. We have a question from Tulasi ji. Her question is, any ideas that one spouse wants to prepare for the exit door graciously, but the other spouse has no plans?
Excellent question. It's not Tulsi ji. Half of us, we are in the same stage. Because even in Chinmaya Mission, if we have 100 families, maybe 10 families come with the husband and wife. 90%, the whole family is not interested. There's only few people are interested in this thing. So this thing is our sadhana. Like I said, also Puj Swami Tejobananda said, we should learn from this thief exit door, but we also should learn how to create time for yourself. And he said, take out 2 minutes from your wife, 2 minutes from the children, 2 minutes from the job, 2 minutes from the TV, you have half an hour. And then be smart, make it 45 minutes, 1 hour. In fact, this physically, we do not have to change too much. It's a mental preparation. Because in Vanaprastha, vairagya is the most important. Vairagya. Also, very few people force us. Because somebody asked me, and I tell you my example. When I turned 50, I told everybody I'm not available at 9:31. There is a lot of people, they personally know me. I went to any wedding or anyway, I never stayed into the banquet hall past 9:29. I'll tell my wife, I'm going to go to my car. I'm going to listen to my guru. I'm going to have one with the God. Because if you are interested, you do. Nice arrangement. Initially, my sister, my brother-in-law, large family. Lot of people, they think I'm cuckoo and maybe I don't have any sense. But they all respect our family. Because what for I'm neglecting and what for I'm doing. And like I said, I can use this harsh word because Most of the people are in 50s, 60s, 70s. I give this example many times. Mirabai wrote a letter to Tulsi Das ji. I don't find peace in my family. What do I do? Tulsi Das ji says, in the spiritual journey, whoever is hindrance, they are your enemy. But here we should not take it literal meaning enemy. If our spouses, they want to do whatever, let them do. We can't change anybody, but we can adopt, because no spouse can say 24 hours you live according to me. No spouse. You may say this thing, but that's not right. Find your own time, find your own interest, take a study of Bhagavad Gita, Ramcharitmanas, even Bhaj Govindam, small books. There are some ideas there. Practice those ideas. What I started, I had a Gurudev's calendar in my fridge. 31 days, there was 31 message. If the message says, don't be angry today, I will lie and cheat, but I won't become angry that day. Next day, some other message. So that message I will remember that day. So those 31 messages in 2-3 years, part and parcel of your life. Take baby steps and you will get there. Thank you.
I was not able to be part of the whole workshop. I had gone to our ashram and I was shoveling the snow because the gates are stuck, the mailbox is stuck. But I rushed back to be part of the survey that was going on, and feeling how active all of you are is very inspiring and very meaningful. One of the greatest deficiencies in the workplace is the need to follow up. Do you agree? For those who are engaged in any sort of work professionally, following up is a weakness. It's a waste, not just professionally, even in a sacred sense. Our community is not passive, rather is active, which is why we keep encouraging all of you to write your names out, to have your cameras on. And I'd like to share that more than 90% of you are engaged in this. We are creating a system so that there is follow-up in our lives naturally. That way, everything that we're listening to is realizable. Putting this in a more simple way, what is powerful about our Vanaprastha culture is that our moderators are not leading it, our team is not leading it, I am not leading it, but Vijayji is. Because if our moderators or our team or I did, it would be sympathetic, but not empathetic. Agreed? I don't have grandchildren, so how can I empathize with a grandparent? As a simple example. That's what's powerful about this whole culture. And focusing on the follow-up again, in the 14 years that I've been serving, I have found the framework of event, movement, development is the way that one grows or transitions to become a Vanaprastha. Our event is every quarter, we're going to have a major workshop like we did today. We'll start at 10 a.m., we'll finish at 1 p.m. So our next workshop will be on Saturday, April 16th. Keep track of that. What happens on a monthly basis has to evolve to a weekly basis. So as was shared, starting this Wednesday, January 26th. Now for many, January 26th is a special day. Why? Please share with me in the chat. January 26th was the day that Bharat was given a constitution, was starting to follow a Shastra. And so we are going to also, the scripture that Vijayji will flow through, help us to flow through, is entitled How to Live in Old Age. How to live in old age. Many are alive in old age, but living is very different. And again, I'm sharing the uniqueness is that this is being led by someone who's learning and practicing how to live in old age. Wednesdays from 12 to 1 Eastern time. This is an ideal time because everyone on the West Coast, this is still available for you. Everyone who's joining us from Europe, joining us from Bharat, this is an ideal time. So the event, I've shared about our workshops. The movement is our weekly, and when I share study group, so many of the awesome ideas that you shared, we're going to incorporate, whether it's a health session or collective japa and so on. Event, movement, development. Once we started Meaningful Mornings, and a lot of you have been part of Meaningful Mornings for almost 2 years, that is when I came to understand and appreciate the only way anyone grows is if they engage in whatever they're practicing every day. More efficient, more effective than weekly study groups is daily inspiration. My father just referenced Puja Gurudev's calendar, correct? That is every day. I know a lot of those who are Vanaprasthas use WhatsApp. I think about my mother. She uses WhatsApp quite a bit. Now, I don't know how much of what's being shared on WhatsApp is healthy. I'm sure most of it is healthy. So we are going to facilitate daily discussions. As I believe Anita ji shared, loneliness has grown during COVID. Like even right now, as my parents are planning to travel to Bharat, we can't go see them because our younger son was in a class where another student had COVID. So now we can't risk that mingling. So what we're going to do is every day through WhatsApp, we're going to initiate a discussion. It could be a quote from Swami Chinmayananda. It could be a verse from Bhagavad Gita. It could be an extract from Meaningful Mornings, and everyone can share their reflections on this subject. So we're calling this daily discussions. Okay? So by registering for this workshop, you're stuck. Every week, every day, WhatsApp, every minute. We will be thinking about simple living. We will be thinking about high thinking. I keep sharing with everyone. We have a anatma vasana. We have a blueprint that makes us feel that peace is outside of ourselves. These vasanas have been developed slowly, and we have to develop different vasanas, atma vasanas, by engaging in atma vichara. Every month, every week, every day, to think about the source of peace, and we will slowly develop these vasanas. If you have any questions, if you have any suggestions, if you have any criticism, don't tell me. That's why our team and moderators are here. Make sure you email them. Email them with your questions, your suggestions, your criticism, so that this culture can become more authentic and more deep. I had heard that IST means not Indian Standard Time, but Independent Standard Time. You start whenever you want, you finish whenever you want. But that's not our culture. We started sharp at 11, at 10, and we're going to be finishing sharp at 1. But before we do so, everyone come closer. Come closer. A little bit closer. Now extend your arms like this, okay? Spread your arms out. I'm not teaching you asana. Now I want you to imagine you're hugging the person who's next to you in Zoom, okay? And look, it's hands-free, so no one will get sick. You're hugging the person next to you, and finish that hug with hugging Bhagwan, or that divinity that lives inside of you. Can all of you feel this? Good. Oh. Sarve bhavantu sukinaha, sarve santu niramayaha, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhave. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Be safe, be sound, be serene, be happiness.